The US and the UAE are blaming Iran for the attacks on 2 oil tankers in the Gulf of Oman. Iran denies any involvement and says the attacks are false flag operations crafted to justify a war against the country. And no concrete evidence has been provided by the US. So who did it? And is the US using the incident to spark a full-blown war with Iran? If they did, it wouldn't be the first time. In 1964, in South Asia's Gulf of Tonkin, 2 US destroyers on patrol, the Maddox and the Turner Joy, were attacked by North Vietnamese boats. President Lyndon Johnson was at first hesitant to retaliate, fearing a Russian and Chinese response, but soon used the incident to pass the Gulf of Tonkin resolution, which sailed through both houses of the US Congress by a vote of 504 to 2. The resolution effectively launched America's full-scale involvement in the Vietnam War. Despite the incident being undisputed, what was never admitted is the North Vietnamese attack was in retaliation for covert attacks by the US for 3 years before that. Effectively, the US had baited the attack, and the Vietnamese retaliation was used to drag the US into a full-blown war. There is always smoke where there is fire, and a similar tactic was used in the Arabian Peninsula ahead of the First Gulf War. After Saddam Hussein's invasion of Kuwait in 1990, Washington provided satellite images purporting to show that Iraqi troops were ready to invade Saudi Arabia. This mobilized the support of the kingdom's Arab neighbors, as well as a sweeping UN Security Council resolution greenlighting an invasion that crippled Iraq. The plans to invade Saudi Arabia were never proved. This tactic has also been used against the US by Israel, its own ally. On June 8, the USS Liberty was attacked by the Israeli Air Force during the Six-Day War. The move was carried out by Tel Aviv in hopes that the Egyptians would be blamed, swaying the US position to provide full support for Israel against Egypt and its Arab neighbors. The question is, are we witnessing similar tactics in the recent tanker wars in the Gulf of Oman? The current Washington administration seems to favor the stick more than the carrot. In the last month, the US has deployed a warship in the Bab el-Mandeb, B-52H Stratfortress bombers at Qatar's Al Udeid Air Base, and an aircraft carrier to the Gulf of Oman. New economic sanctions on Iran and Washington's terrorist designation of the Revolutionary Guard are all signs of US aggression against Tehran. So what's next? Who will take the blame, and will the tanker games turn into a war?